In this video, I'm going to complete a complex assembly process. The assembly of this bathroom unit is complex as it's completed in two parts. First, the assembly of the carcass, and second, fixing the front frame that I have made to the carcass. I have already cut all the pieces to my carcass using the technical drawing. Before assembly, I checked against the drawing that all pieces are within tolerance, meeting organisational standards. To assemble this unit, I am using biscuits that I've already cut and screws to hold it in place. All screw holes will be filled later. Each piece simply needs gluing and securing in place. Here I'm cutting the back piece, measuring off the carcass. I secure the back piece in place, and finally I'm going to check for square to check it meets organisational standards. Next, I'm moving on to fixing the frame to the carcass. To start this process, I am making sure the frame has a completely flat back so it will fit flush to the carcass, leaving no gaps, which would not be an acceptable finish. I am doing this by using my block plane to smooth out any slightly raised areas around the joints. Next, I lay the frame on the carcass and mark out where I want my biscuits to be. I then use my combination square to transfer these lines to the top edge so I can see them when using the biscuiter. I mark these lines both on the carcass and the frame. Then I go ahead and use the biscuiter to cut the holes for the biscuits on the carcass. I'm using the preset setting on the tool and will keep this the same for the frame so everything lines up. Now I am completing the same process on the front frame, clamping it in my vise so that it's nice and secure. With the frame dry fitted to the carcass, I need to add some biscuits to the central rail. To do this, I have cut a packer to give the biscuiter a surface to sit on that is flush to the front frame as it is raised slightly above the carcass. With this clamped in place and my biscuits marked out, I go ahead and cut these on the carcass and the frame. Finally, I dry fit it before gluing it and clamping it together. Unfortunately, my camera cut out for this process, but it's very straightforward. I simply applied glue to each biscuit hole and the edges of the carcass, slotted the front frame in place and clamped it using sash clamps while the glue dried. Here you can see the end result with the unit as one complete piece.